We have to make two things common between us before I can begin, and both are about elephants. The first relates to the idiom elephant in the room. The second to a concept known as an elephant graveyard. The first is a reference to something that is being purposely ignored, possibly because it's controversial. Whatever it is, it's not being addressed. Like there is this thing between two or more people and everybody is choosing not to talk about it. It's obvious and it's distracting, as if an elephant was standing in the room and nobody was acknowledging it. Everyone just went about their business pretending that the elephant wasn't standing there. This usually comes up when a topic is a bit of a sore spot between people. It's usually something that's difficult to talk about, and people avoid that discussion so that they can just keep the peace. It happens with lots of topics. It happens with lots of people. The second concept is an elephant graveyard. And this term refers to the myth that older elephants, they just wander off to die in some sacred place that only elephants know about. They're compelled to do so by some unknowable force, an instinct that is irresistible and tells the elephant that it's time to die. So off the elephant goes when it feels that pull. It's not real, but it is a neat idea. It has a poetic quality to it, like something that Kipling would have come up with. An old elephant reaches the end of its usefulness. It shambles off to a graceful death. And what I like about it is how it marries up with an elephant in the room, especially an elephant that gets created when one person is wrong and maintains that viewpoint despite facts and definitions to the contrary, as in that person would rather be right than corrected. They get defensive, they refuse to budge, they won't acknowledge facts, they won't acknowledge definitions. And it often falls to the other person who is probably in the right to either let it go or destroy the relationship. And that person, they might be magnanimous enough to do that. Maybe they're satisfied that they made their point. Maybe they just don't feel like arguing with a stubborn person anymore. God knows that that's tiring to the point of annoyance. So they drop it. But guess what? It gets replaced by an elephant in the room every time those two people get together or attempt to communicate with one another. Nothing between them was resolved. One person refused to alter beliefs or behaviors. The other person gave up trying to get traction on either. But damn if that pachyderm isn't hanging around for the rest of their relationship. Few things are quite as useless as this particular variety of elephant in the room. They tend to live forever and ever, never getting the graceful death that they deserve, never seeing the elephant graveyard. Mostly because these types of elephants are the constructs of people, specifically people who are wrong. And there's no more ruthlessly stubborn creature on earth than a human being that thinks it's right when it's actually wrong. That person will hold on with everything they've got, even when an elephant can see that it's time to let go. It's such a basic failing in a person's character. It's the product of a fixed mindset and dogmatic thinking. And that creates a person who is incapable of reversing a position or growing through the correction of others. Because there's nothing wrong with being, well, wrong, but there is something wrong with staying wrong. It's better to let that elephant go. There's a place for it if you can just see past your own ego and let the elephant leave. An entire elephant graveyard will welcome it and unburden you, because the longer you choose to stay wrong, the more crowded your relationships are going to be, because you keep bringing those damn elephants into the room with you.